Boom! All right, the 88th IWAR Gold Strategy Workshop is here. And joining me is IWA Guru and IWA World Champion. My God.
From gold. So yeah, exactly what we said last cycle.
Right.
It all happened.
Yeah. So,
Meaning it won't happen this cycle because
right.
can't do that twice.
I gotta share. Oh, no, that's not it. Hold on.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
Where's my uh where's the thing here? Oh my God. Let me pause the record.
Got it.
Aha! Okay, so there we go. All right, now we're cooking.
Right.
And all of you visually impaired players will be happy to know that Mike has boosted up the screen sharing, which will eventually pop up.
It's not yet.
It did, yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
So we're dealing with a conundrum now of what our options are going to be. So
Okay.
this will be
Good news. Yeah, good news and bad news. So
mm,
we'll start with the good news. That is the front. A lot got cut off already. So we can go the 3 gold ago, took out the 29-28. Still took out 28-27.
sure.
2 golds ago, took out 28-26. We don't think 27s will happen because they happened 4 cycles ago.
Right.
Um, I mean, I'd be really surprised to see the same double drop that soon. It's not common that you would have a 4 cycle ago anyway, but especially not the same double drop. So don't use it.
Yeah.
And last gold was 27-26, and iron was 26s. So we are down to
Sweet real estate. Ka-ching.
yep. It's right here. So we got 28. We got 29-26 and 29-27. So pretty good chance that a 29 drops. So that'll be one of the first things to probably look at is how you feel about 29s, which I have not looked at them. Let's get this one off of 80%.
Ah!
There it is.
I can see them formatting comments. I couldn't read it at all. I had to get my special glasses.
The fine print. That's where we keep the good stuff.
By the way, we have a question for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So, about battle royals, and the idea is it like worth doing a strategy trying to win the battle royal, or is it just like
you'd have no shot at the report? So, what's your goal?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like,
and then even like trying to do a strat for the battle royal, you have 66% chance because it's 5 holds, right? Is it 5?
Yeah, 3
they pick. Yeah, so you've got a 66% chance of not guessing right still.
Right.
I think you've said it before, but yeah, if you mix up a few holds, that's probably best. But even then, don't mess up your back 5. Probably don't do anything weird on hold 10, Give yourself a chance at those hits because, yeah, no matter what you do, you're not going to guarantee anything with the Battle Royal.
Well, we're here. Do you want to do the bottom 5 or do you want to do what do you want to do first?
Now, let's look at the 29s.
Okay.
Fortunately, I don't know if there's anything special about either. They're both, so we got 31, we got 53. They're both pretty common on holds that drop. And they both have dropped fairly recently. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't help.
No, it doesn't.
Damn you.
See, I think I might have actually, let me check something. 45 and 5. Did I put that right? Yeah, 45 and 5. Yeah. So that's kind of the tough part. We do think a 29 goes. They look like very similar holds. Um, Probably then you got to start looking at, the 27s or the 26s.
Hmm.
I did highlight, so we got the 2 cycle ago 25s. I'm still not convinced we can trust it,
Yeah.
but I will say we've had 2 in a row, and see, you got to go back a full year at this point before we had 3 in a row.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it's still a little shaky. It's like a 50-50 basically here,
Yeah.
but maybe you can go all in on that side of it. I still wouldn't quite trust it yet, but
Right.
yeah, I would have trouble picking between those two 29s. So you're going to have to probably start looking at the other holds. We can do that in a minute if we want to.
Sure.
Let's go to the back though, because that's the tougher part.
Right.
So we'll start with our 45s from last cycle. I would leave them just as they are. And the reason I do that, you see, it seems like it's getting to be a pretty common thing that they do 3 in a row. We know 90 can go 43, but majority of the time it's going to go 44. And I wouldn't gamble on it. So leave those two like that.
There you go.
Um, then the rest is basically a guess
Yikes.
because we'll start with on the back five, we had a 41 in iron and a 42 in steel.
Yeah.
So, that means both are an option right now. You then can look and you see that when we have had two 42s in a row, it doesn't typically stop at 42. In fact, right here would be the last one. That's
Hmm.
nearly 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it is interesting that more than the 41s, it seems like the 42s are clustered. We had this one outlier here and one here and here, but you see around it is one, two, three, four instances to the three where it's a single. But like I said, every time it's been two, there's been a third. So
Right.
I think it's worth gambling on a 42. One more cycle. That's the way I would lean.
Well, as the world champion.
Yeah. I, yeah, I'm able to gamble now because I got it.
There you
So
go. See?
yeah,
Back
I'll
to
throw
back.
in the old disclaimer. 41s are safe, but I think I would give a little more lean towards the 42s.
Okay.
Just because, like I said, you see here, it's just seems like they cluster a lot more. So I would trust that we should see one more. It is interesting though. We talk about how over a span, it seems like it balances out, and yeah, I think we're just due for at least one more 42 to balance out a little more. But can't really rule anything out. Uh, Definitely got to make a decision there because that's 16 options available. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm going to go with the 42, not a 41, but can't trust it fully.
Okay.
So um, then on the 44s and 43s, we try to find sort of any pattern we can on what's going to happen, but we're getting a really good mix recently. See, it's been a lot of 44 ones.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot.
44 twos for a week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird because we talked a while back that they were actually consistent with the 44 2, 43 2. And then there'd be five in between and it would happen. Then there'd be five in between. It would happen. There'd be five in between. Didn't happen this time. The two happened, but this side didn't happen.
Right.
Um, Yeah, they do pop in one or two others here, but I think it's at a point where another will happen either this cycle or next cycle. Would not gamble completely on that,
Okay.
but that's the way I lean.
And looking at this as far as like the 44A, 44 or 44-1,
Mm-hmm.
44-2, and 43-1 for am I seeing it right? I scribbled it
I
down.
got the 44 is 85 and then 63, and 43 is 73, 83.
Right.
That's what you have. Yeah. Now, what I'm thinking though, so we had this little cluster here where there was the three in a row of both ones.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that was pretty uncommon. There's one instance here of a two and one here.
Mm.
Seems like they're mixing it more so, though. So I think least likely out of the four options of these would be the 8573. The It's tough between the. I almost think it's going to be the twos this time, but it just seems like it's overdue. So 6383 might be it, but 6373. So I think
Mm.
my rank on it would be 6383, 6373, 8583, and then 8573. But
Yeesh.
that's yeah, that's kind of how I do the backs on a lot of these, is just guess on what's slightly above 50%. But yeah, it's not fun when all 16 options are there. And it's probably closer now to where, when I say like things have to balance out, they're pretty close to balance. So it's strange because yeah, they've shorted us on this one, and
Right.
it's definitely due for the 44-2 to happen again. Um, but yeah, it's a little tough. So wish there was more, data driven insight there, but it's not. I mean, you look over here, we had the same two, the same two.
Right.
It's kind of all over the place right now. This one had this long stretch, and then it went right back to it here. So you seeing still the 43-1's just been pretty bad recently. You over here though, it's actually more blended than we've
Yeah.
had there.
Look at Jade. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
43.
and then this part of it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a few world titles in that stretch, didn't they?
I would
People
say
caught
so.
on to that. Yeah, I think there's at least two or three out of it. There's it's one of those things where at first people are maybe thinking, oh, it shouldn't happen again, but yeah, it got to that point where just keep using it until it missed, and
Yeah.
yep.
Well, all right. So we've got a conundrum for the back end, but not too
Hmm.
crazy.
Yeah, that's what's going to really mess with the strats. But I mean, for the most part, the front. I mean, take 28s. Trying to think. Did we end up with two 28s last year, or was it just one?
Just one.
It
It's
was just one, right? Yeah.
19 cycles last time, so it's due or not due. It depends, I guess. By the way, your hard-hitting USA Finland score 6-1.
What
USA.
sport is that?
Hockey. It's the no
Hockey.
longer
Okay.
All-Star
Uh,
game. So they're putting the whooping on the finish. I
so I'm trying to think. Was 28 50 cycles or something?
Yeah, it was like 30,
There
35.
it is. Yeah, 35. before that was even longer, or am I thinking
I don't think
a
so.
30? Okay, it was 35 both times. Yeah. I
Oh, is
think
it
I'm
okay?
thinking of, yeah, I'm thinking of the diamond one. That's the one that's
Oh, okay.
over 50. Yeah.
Could they
Yep.
do it again? Oh my God.
Yeah, that's almost,
It's too
that's,
much.
yeah. I
Damn,
would almost,
Scotty
yeah,
B.
we said this a lot last year, but I feel like you can miss a lot more cycles when you start chasing something like a double drop that you think should happen soon.
Yeah.
You can easily go a couple cycles trying to risk it, and
Oh, I did that for
nothing makes you tank quicker than trying to do that.
I did it with Adam
And
Cash. I played 28s for like 10 cycles,
yeah,
and then when I stopped, it hit.
hmm
That was like when I used to play my birthday, 6472, and I played it with daily number for like 2 years, 2.5 years. And 2 weeks after I stopped playing it, it hit. I mean, it was only been like $2,300, something like that, but it's a principle.
yeah,
So
yeah. So
uh,
I would still avoid 28s. I mean, even if it does hit, a lot of people usually take doubles, no matter how
yeah,
much they shouldn't.
Aaron,
You can put a lot of names in that category.
he's that's why
But
why his back hurts. He's been carrying 28s for so long.
yeah,
All right.
I would put it last. So
Hmm.
I think you need to go all in on 42s or 41s. That'll cut you to 8 backs. A little tougher to pick between these, but if you can pick one of those 29s, that's probably best to stay on one side. Um, but yeah, you'll have to decide one way. But it is interesting that, like I said, the back's going to decide a lot because essentially everybody's going to have one of their two front holds the same. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
50% is probably going to have 31, 50% 53. So,
All right.
but the fronts are going to be similar, but yeah, there's going to be some really wild swings on the back, but not a terrible cycle for the. It's the one where we get everything piled in, and that's slower than it has been on several of these. So
90 to 34. Oh my God, the shock.
they don't want that email.
Yeah.
Emails.
I just see they're about to hit like enter on the computer. And they're like, no, you know, Kim has a vacation coming up. We can't do this to her. Make
Are
her
they going on
suffer.
a
Beep.
President's Day
Oh.
vacation?
What's that?
They're not doing anything for President's Day, are they?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Then we'll get it in Monday morning.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, it's kind of straight. Like I said, it's straightforward, but it's also, you got to kind of figure out now the 25 bounce back. Was it 53? No, I'm off 45 and 5.
Yeah. Which, I mean, if you wanted to see one interesting thing, it was, like I said, I can't quite say that, the two cycles ago, it had been a year since it went three in a row, but I don't think that means anything because it's not just, it's been about 50-50. So it could happen again. But if you look at 45, you see the last three times it actually did that little 25 sandwich. So maybe that's a sign that it'll do it again, but don't know. Yeah, you're just got to whatever little trick you have to pick between who holds. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean
let's go and pick.
yeah, like we were talking about in the chat room there about like how do you determine your strongholds versus weak holds, and everyone's got something to do, but how far back you go. You know,
Hmm.
I see 7 still in there. That's a dead hole. 32. I don't even remember when 32 was good.
Yeah, for some reason I just always keep the
48 and
23s and
50, I
24s.
vaguely remember. 48 for sure,
Yeah.
but that's a long time.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, it used to be really good. Look at all that.
I remember in '06, it used to get 30.
Oh, yeah. So when was this? This was 124 cycles ago.
Oh my God.
Went south.
That's nothing. That's what, 9 years, 8 years?
Yeah, about 8 years.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'll leave them on here, but I don't think they'll ever go back to doing those cycles.
Mm.
People tend to not like it.
Well, like I said, we're kind of at that spot where it's okay, where's it gonna go from here? And
Hmm.
yeah, like I said, the five bounced down for 5 45. Um, eh, it's a new year, so does that play into it, or just go, well, they've been doing the same thing for a long time, and that's how it.
Yeah, that's the my sheet's not set up that way, but I don't know. Maybe there is I think we talked about it at one point, but does a rolling 18 months or 18 cycles, does that do the same thing as looking at a year, or do you need to look at it within the year?
Yeah,
I'm really not sure on that.
yeah,
I'll just leave it in a year. I feel like that gives me enough information, but
right. So, I meant to ask too, did you have any Super Bowl parlays that didn't get destroyed by the terrible performance by the Chiefs slash
yeah,
Saquon not
I
going
got
down?
one. So I think we talked the king of the end zone that DraftKings does.
Okay.
I had a pretty good stretch where I hit them like four in a row, and I hit off the bet on every one of them.
Hmm.
Um, so I hit on Saquon in the championship games,
Okay.
and I immediately, as soon as I got that one, I put Eagles -5, and that the game would go over 50 points, and so that one hit, and that was like a $40 bet, so
Right.
it paid out really well. I think it was like 100 and something, but then the king of the end zone for the Super Bowl, I put Xavier Worthy in it, and he conveniently got a 50-yard touchdown with like 2 minutes to go. That meant
Yeah.
nothing, but that means that one won. And so I put it on just a big pile of college basketball games Monday, and I won another like $90 on it. So from the
I,
bets, I won. If Saquon had scored a touchdown, I think I had like seven that would have hit,
yeah.
but he couldn't do that.
I made the
So he
mistake.
was the one that ruined everything on
Yeah.
mine.
I mean, I'm happy for him, whatever. But it was funny. I only had one thing hit, and it was I took either defense to intercept and run back, a pick six for either side. And
So
of
you got
course, that
that.
guy did that. And that was great. That was like 40, like 39, 50 or whatever it was. Uh, I had a couple other ones that were doing well, but it was just too much, too little time. And oops, sorry. And it's one of those things that like I usually do a thing if I know I'm like doing like playoffs and it's two games, what I'll do is do four parlays of $5 each.
Mhm.
And I'll do two parlays with if team A wins and two parlays if I think team B will win. And it works pretty well because generally speaking, if a team does well, like you get like the passing yards, you get the
Yeah.
touchdowns, etc. But for some reason, I didn't do that. I did like a combination. So I had like Mahomes 200 yards, Saquon 100 yards, Saquon two touchdowns, and
Yeah,
it just
I didn't put
did well.
Saquon 100 yards in anything because it got to the point in the playoffs that the odds were so bad it wasn't worth putting it in.
Yeah.
There was, I think, it was one of the games he was like -360 to get 120 yards, which that's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah. So, but
Yeah,
now I'm done with NFL. Obviously, the play, no until next year.
yeah.
But I am doing my NASCAR with my dad, and I always pick our drivers, and we do a couple like I always do these like I call them schmo bets where you put like $1 and you pick like for instance the schmo bet I made for the Super Bowl was Dotson to get a touchdown, and it was really like
Oh,
it was
so
good
close.
like
Yeah,
it was really good like I was like I put like what it was like a
hit
couple
at
things
the
I
half yard
qualified for like
line.
bonus bets. I put $10 on Dotson to score. I just had this feeling. I'm like Dotson's gonna score. I can just feel it. So I follow my hunch. And then he had that pass where I was like, "Oh my
Yep.
God!" And then I was like, we watched the play and he was down with the wine." I'm like, "Oh, Oh, and then like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
maybe he'll scramble and catch another like those like bang bang plays, but no.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so now I will do the schmo bet and I'll pick like some driver like Helio Castroneves or somebody who's like 201 odds, And it's like if I win, it's $20, like whatever, it's like it's a dollar bet. Um, I also like doing like there's a combo pick where you pick the three drivers and they finish in the top 10, you win, or
Mhm.
pick a driver, finish in the top 10. And that's kind of fun because you can pick a schmo and get some pretty good odds. And if they do well and they finish the top 10, you're like, hey, I won $30. So my dad's a big NASCAR guy, so I grew up around this. And we'll see. But so now that you've won your was it IWA Elite American or it was international? Which one was it? Uh-oh. Did Mike freeze? Oh my God. There he is. Nope. There you are. All right. I was saying
Yep.
you won World Elite. Was it American or international?
International, the first one I've ever won.
All right.
Drove
So
me crazy. I'd been edged for like 12. Just last year alone, it was five.
nice.
Couldn't win it. It's just every time I would have a good stretch, somebody would have better.
Well, once again, proof the workshop helps you win.
Yeah, I think if you go back to last year, I can't remember which cycle. So I'll probably say it's been like the last 16, 17.
Yeah.
I have World, two other Feds, edged for three other Feds, and edged for US title out of gold. So that's almost 50%.
That's pretty good.
Hmm.
All right. Well, we
Yeah,
are
that's why.
about to. What's that?
Yeah, main thing is if you keep doing the same thing that's halfway logical, you are right about half the time.
There you
So
go.
that's why we always try to stick to the same thing, and works out enough.
50% of the
So
time, it works every time. There you
yeah, I don't think that math's right, but
go. That's all right. All right. Well, thank you very much. And again, congrats on the IWA
thank you.
Championship. Uh, I'll get this posted and go to bed.
Yep, I'm gonna do the
All right.
same.
Thanks, man.
See ya.
That's it.